We literally have been waiting for a video like this because I woke up this morning and the first thing I saw on my Instagram was the news, all right? The most important news of the day for me. And the saddest one. Henry Cavill, not Superman anymore. I don't know if this title is really right because he wasn't fired. He wasn't even hired. He was just misled on multiple occasions. So we're gonna check the video and see what's going on. You know, but long story short, Henry is not playing as Superman. And even though they encouraged him to announce that he is, and we all thought that he is because he announced that he is, he just said that he didn't because he sat down with James Gunn and others and they told him that they're not hiring him. So, sad, bro. What the hell is going on? And how did that just happen?
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. You know, we hadn't done a single video here at the channel about James Gunn in DC yet, mostly because my big point of contention was let's wait and see what his plan is and then give his plan a chance before we start reacting, not just reacting to rumors a week into his CEO-ship. Well, we have the first official update coming from Henry Cavil himself about his future with the studio, as in that he will not be returning. There is no future. He is no longer Superman in the DC universe.
Then why did they urge him to let us all know publicly that he is? Because that is, I would be mad if I was him. Because if an actor says something like that, and it's not true. The relationship between him and his fans, it's like discredited. How to say it? Like it removes that honesty factor between each other. And he would, as an actor, he would hate to do that to his fans, you know?
We're going to break down and read through his official statement. James Gunn has also weighed in with some reasoning on Twitter. We'll read his tweets as well, talk about what it means for the slate and the reason he gave for why Henry isn't coming back. First, if you could, reminder, we do daily comic book news at the channel. We're giving away a PlayStation at 1 million subscribers, which we are right around the corner
guys.
from.
You got a PlayStation for free.
Hit any day now. So if you want to be entered to win or for the weekly comic book giveaway, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So literally this breaking in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, this is the actual tweet by Henry Cavill that I read as well. And this is what he says. I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and it is sad news, everyone. I will, after all, not be returning as Superman. After being told by the studio to announce my return back in October, prior to their hire, this news isn't the easiest, but that's life. The changing of the guard is something that happens. I respect that. James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with the new universe the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes. For those who have been by my side through the years, we can mourn for a bit, but then I can't read the rest.
Coming directly from Henry Cavill's Instagram in an official statement. He wrote, quote, I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran.
Okay, let me continue. For those who have been by my side through the years, we can mourn for a bit, but then we must remember Superman is still around. Everything he stands for still exists, and the examples he set for us are still there. My turn to wear the cape has passed. Oh my God. But what Superman stands for never will. It's been a fun ride with you all. Onwards and upwards. It's such a positive message. I love his attitude, even though I would be so pissed if somebody told me to announce it and then not even hire me, you know. He made a mistake there trusting on words and not on paper. And that's what a lot of actors do nowadays. Just trust papers. Like Johnny Depp did the same with Sony and Disney, and they screwed him badly, you know, and he lost everything because he trusted the wrong people.
And upwards, which is just an absolutely class statement from Henry Cavill. And the same came from James Gunn. He made some public tweets to address this news, starting with, quote, Peter, Safran, and I have a DC slate that's ready to go, which we couldn't be more over the moon with. We'll be able to share some exciting information about our first projects at the beginning of the new year. He goes on to say among those on the slate is Superman. In the initial stages, our story will be focusing on an earlier part of Superman's life, so the character will not be played by Henry Cavill. But we just had a great meeting with Henry, and we're big fans, and we talked about a number of exciting possibilities to work together in the future. Now,
You gotta love they had a great meeting where they told the guy he's not gonna play Superman. What a great meeting indeed, bro. Like, how could that be great? The only part great about it is the free donut that comes with it. And I hope it's the same day donut, like fresh, you know?
I don't know if this leaves the door open for what they're saying is they're going to tell a young Superman story with a different actor, and then later on...
Superman story. I mean, it's like a revive or whatever of Superman, and I know I see what they're going with, because the same happened with Superman. They brought a younger Superman, and it worked out, you know? Because these younger heroes can actually relate to Gen Z more, and nowadays Gen Z go to... cinema more than our generation who are busy with kids and whatnot. So I kind of do understand that, but at the same time, you have Henry Cavill, bro. You don't have anyone out there who's already like out from Hollywood,
and when he's
and
an older
the impact.
Superman, perhaps Henry Cavill could come back for that, but at least for the time being, that means that Henry Cavill will not be the character, and considering what James and Peter have said about wanting to have one concise 10-year story, I would think as though they'd hire an actor to play that entire narrative through line. And I think there were a lot of us who sort of...
It's like they have a whole plan, like 10 years in advance of movies, and Henry Cavill is not ready for such commitment. You know, like, he wants to experiment other things as well. I don't think he can do 10 years of Superman. Maybe he can come back for a movie or two and that's it. At the same time, like, I understand that.
Saw the writing on the wall when we heard Jason Momoa wouldn't be Aquaman anymore, with the Aquaman movie still coming out, but rather would be cast as Lobo, that if that was going to happen, there was a...
Who? What? I did not hear about this.
Good chance none of the existing Justice League members might survive. And look, nothing James and Peter did was going to be perfect. There were going to be people unhappy with whatever decision they make. And trust me, I love Henry Cavill as Superman, and I really was hoping no matter what happened, he would return. I think he deserved it. I think he was the best Superman, and I think he was an obvious choice and a fan favorite going forward that they could still cash in on. But from an industry perspective and the outside looking in, again, I think some things were obvious. And what James and Peter are apparently willing to do that no one was willing to do at DC up until now is rip the Band-Aid off, hit a fresh restart, and literally restart the entire DC universe with fresh casting, new stories and characters, literally from scratch. That being said, I think that may even preclude some of the things that James Gunn has done. In my opinion, Peacemaker is one of the best superhero TV shows.
Agree. Peacemaker, Daredevil, The Boys. Best 3 TV shows about heroes and anti-heroes. Best.
On TV of all time. Yes, it doesn't rival the action of like the original Daredevil episodes, but it's not that kind of show, and it was excellent. And you guys know I'm biased towards James Gunn. I love his writing, I love his directing, and so for me, I'm like, yo, let's just wait and give it a chance. But guys, for a lot of you who feel some sort of way about this, what I would say is, again, there was no easy way to go forward here for them. They literally walked into an absolute mess with a continuity that was literally rivaling X-Men for how fractured it was. Multiple Batman movies, Joker movies that weren't even connected to the main continuity, multiple different characters.
I agree with this point as well. Like, they have to go from zero at this point. And this would be like almost their final chance, because at this point, it's not working. I'm sorry, it's all disconnected. Individually, some of these characters worked perfectly fine. But as a universe, it didn't in the movie sense. Maybe in comics, probably in comics, of course, and maybe animations. But in movie...
Got him!
That is a sound effect. That is a sound effect. But yeah, in movies... not so well as I would say Marvel with the Avengers era, you know? And I feel like they want to do that, but they need to start from scratch with it. Even though these characters were really good. It's not the problem of the actors. They did an amazing job with what they had. And I just think that storytelling was not there.
With it, hopefully the Flash movie coming in and supposedly writing all of this, and then you had the mass cancellations, and there is something meta here that's going way beyond what's just happening specifically with DC. You may have seen the news that Warner Brothers actually intends to take Westworld off of HBO. Not just that they ended the series, but they're literally going to take it off of HBO.
Like, why would you make a show, award-winning show, by the way, Westworld was award-winning show, and take it off completely from your channel? I would understand if you're taking off some shows that take a lot of money to be on your side, but they're not worthy. But why Westworld? Yeah, probably you still have to pay the actors and pay the production and whatnot to keep that show on. But it's a really good show. It adds value, so you should pay for it, in my opinion. Like, I don't understand.
And this helps them in a couple of ways. Number one, they get a tax write-off for taking it down. Number two, they actually don't have to pay any rights for any of the actors who have residuals if it's not being aired. And number three, they can then in turn license it to other third-party streaming platforms and make money that way. They are in an extreme budget-cutting situation. And so for James and Peter Safran, they're going to have an uphill battle trying to sort of get the funding secured they need to build this DC universe. Spending any kind of money that doesn't go directly into that plan is something they're not going to be willing to do. So here's my hot take based on this news, and I'm calling it now as I've called a lot of things correctly this year. Guys, that Ezra Miller Flash movie has...
Can you please remove Ezra Miller from my screen? The whole time you were putting him on my screen, I despise this guy. Like, I don't hate anyone, but what his actions speaks louder than anything, you know? And in real life, I mean, and I just can't. Like, I don't want to look at him.
There's zero chance of coming out.
Watching his
the marketing budget for a movie like that alone can be in the upwards of $50 or $100 million, depending on what they want to do. And the same for the Aquaman movie that is completely dead in the water. I don't know what will happen with the comic book community by the time these films come out, if they do actually come out, how they'll even feel or be received, because now James Gunn's plan is being made public almost by the day with these announcements. And if they actually put out the Flash movie or even Aquaman 2, and we know those stories are completely dead in the water, does it make any sense to spend 10, 50, 100 million on marketing for both films if you can save that money too, in light of the kind of cuts that Warner Brothers are making? I just don't see it. Well, what I will say though is that Joker 2 most certainly will come out, and that's really more about the actor who's playing Joker and Joaquin Phoenix, the success of the first
Joker 2 and the Batman. These should be separate things from whatever they are planning with this new cast. And like, just continue what you were doing. That's my opinion.
Film, and what's going in its favor is that it's never tried to be connected. It is literally standing as its own thing, and I think it might come out. Where that leaves the rest of DC, including James Gunn's own Suicide Squad movie and the Peacemaker TV show, we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, let me know all your comments, concerns, questions down below. I know social media has been going nuts. There are fans in every side of the camp. People who think they should blow it up and completely reset it. People who don't agree at all and think that they should go with the main Justice League continuity. There were even some crazy fans who tried to arrange on December 12th a Fire James Gunn hashtag to trend on Twitter, and it went absolutely nowhere because, well, sometimes toxic fans are just going to be toxic. But guys, let me know your opinions about...
I mean, why would you hate James Gunn? Like, I haven't even seen like what he's planning to do. Why can't, like, give the guy a chance? I understand people don't like change. That's the thing. People don't like new things because they're always afraid that the new thing will like erase whatever they loved about a character or a movie or what. Like that can't happen. You already have what you love there. As he said, Superman is there and everything he stands for is still there. And it will be there. If you love Henry Cavill as Superman, you can watch the old movies. Yeah, the story sometimes is not the greatest and whatnot, but you still have it there. You know, you saw it. He did his job there. He gave it all. You can have it. But don't hate on something that you haven't seen yet or experienced. In my opinion, this is what DC does actually need, a new start, because we're not feeling it with these movies, right, guys? And that they were so unlucky too, like with Ezra Miller, what's going on with him, or what happened with the Johnny Depp trial with Amber Heard in Aquaman, and like all of these movies that were supposed to come out. Even Wonder Woman, the second movie, was so many times postponed during Corona that people lost interest. The movie wasn't the greatest, but like it was such a downer for DC, and everything they did so far, like they had such a bad time. But the latest movie, Black Adam, and for example, the Batman and the Joker movie. I don't know the title. These were really good movies. And seeing in Black Adam how they introduced two young, and these are the guy that like is like the Ant-Man from DC. Noah guy that plays him, and the girl that's, listen, I am the worst with names. You know, the girls that turns around, Atom Crusher, and the girl. They are so cute together, and they are so young, and they can represent these characters. It gave me this feeling of back in the day when you had this Avengers and these when Superman joined, now Spider-Man joined, and then he was so young and everybody's like, who are you, what you're doing? And then he proved himself, you know. Cyclone and Atom Crusher, I think, yeah. So this is the thing that gave me hope. I saw them and I was like, yeah, this works. This might work. This is where they need to keep going with this new younger character to appeal to younger audience. So hopefully they can do Superman and Batman and everyone else justice with, I just said justice, with this. But yeah, that's my opinion. It's not the worst news ever, but it's also sad for us to say goodbye to Henry Cavill, and how they went around it was really sus and cheesy. I don't like that. But yeah, we'll see what's gonna be next.
About the slate and what you think is going to happen and what you'd like to see happen. And since we may
Hopefully
be recasting the entire DC catalog again here very soon, well, let me know who you got. Fan casts, the new Batman, the new Superman. I'm all ears. Now, let's get into the giveaway stuff again at the channel.
Who as new Superman? Oh my! I can't think about it. Timothy? Nah, he's too skinny. Myself. Let me know if you're watching this on YouTube in the comments as well. I don't know. I have to think about it.